Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Creating with a Heart, and this is the first in hopefully a series on Smash books. How I use them, why I use them, updates on them. There's going to be 2 back-to-back, and then I'll just do some periodically as I have stuff to share. So the first one is my own. I'm calling it a photo journal. And so really it's why I use Smash books. There's a lot of videos on making your own. The problem that I have with making your own is, one, is if you use a composition book, they don't open flat. It's very difficult to scrapbook when your book doesn't open flat. Also, it's not very durable. The pages are not sturdy, even if you glue them together. It's not very sturdy, and your book is going to be like this. Once you put a couple pages in it, it's going to be fat. It's going to be a mess. I don't like it. That's just me. I love composition books for what they're intended for, which is notes and writing and that sort of thing, journaling. Not necessarily this type of thing. The other is if you use a bind it all or a cinch, the wires aren't closed all the way. You know what I mean? They're not mechanically closed. They can open, they snag. There's not a lot of room for growth. The spines are only so big. And I do love my bind it all. I just don't think it's quite suitable because, for one thing, you can't really get this hard, durable cover because chipboard will take up so much space and it doesn't open and close very well. It's hard to cut it in that thing. And I just think that these are reasonably priced enough that if you're going to do this type of thing, go ahead and invest and buy a Smash book or buy something like it. There's a lot of companies that are doing similar things. Stampin' Up, Close to My Heart, We Are Memory Keepers, you know, there's a ton of them. Reflections, all kinds of people are doing this type of thing. So you really have a lot of options. And the other is Project Life. Now, Project Life is huge right now. Now you can find the product everywhere. And I think Project Life, for me, I tried doing it, and I was bored, frankly, number one. I just felt like my life wasn't weekly, daily, exciting enough. So I tried it daily. That didn't work. I couldn't remember to take pictures, and then it was just so repetitive. And then I tried doing bi-weekly, and then I just kind of tried to do it monthly. And either way, it was boring for me. It took a lot of time, more time for something that didn't look as nice. When I scrapbook, I really want it to be beautiful. So the kind of thing that I do is I do layouts for my family book. I do mini albums for sort of bigger events. And then, you know, there's that gray area of what to do with things like cell phone pictures, things you might want to do a layout with. Maybe you are a diary keeper, journal writer. You like to combine the two and have pictures in your journal. And so it kind of led me to this style. So it's a Project Life / Smash. Okay? So for me, it's the idea that scrapbooking can be fast and easy, which is what Project Life bills it as and Smash bills it as. But it can still have that fun factor and not be boring, because I find Project Life to be boring. It's inflexible. It's just the same kind of thing. Put things in pockets. It's just not my style because I am a crafter. So it can be fun, for me anyway, and beautiful too. And I'm not knocking Project Life because it definitely has its niche. It's so popular because people are looking for that. It fits the need of that group of people. I'm not the group of people it fills the niche for. And Smash, you know, for me, and this might develop and change with time. That's what happens. So my Smash is a lot more journaling than I do in a layout. A lot more journaling than I do in a mini album. And so I have pictures that I printed from my computer, and I've also used my Cricut quite a bit. And then what Smash that I got came with this cool closure, which is pretty awesome. So I've done a lot, like I said, a lot more journaling. I'm a more of a linear person. I'm not the kind of layout person who puts like a layout here and then there's just like beautiful media, mixed media and paint and stuff everywhere. I can't do that. It's not me. For me, it's really about the pictures, and I try to cram as many pictures as I can when I do layouts or mini albums and so on, because that's why I do it. And this is how I craft. It's very neat. It's tidy. So, and then the paper really worked for this one. It says a day to remember, and I put a little picture underneath of my daughter at a birthday party. And it's just, you know, these types of things that, where do you put this? This is my daughter and I went into a little photo booth and we took pictures. Where do you put that? So that's great. And then this is, I went and I visited, my children had an event at their school, Muffins with Moms, and they had a mom wall, and my kids all wrote, "I love you, Mom," on there. So to have them take a picture with my phone. And, you know, I wouldn't do a whole layout on that probably, you know, but it really works for this. And again, I use my Cricut. I use scraps. If I don't like the paper, like this paper was just ugly dominoes. You can see it. Bleh. So the paper's ugly and grody. I cover it with, I have so much paper. It's a great way to use up my scraps. And I just covered that ugly paper because it's hard for me to journal over that ugly domino paper. So I just cover it. Okay. And I mean, just things that take up a lot of my life. So my daughter's dance is every single week for 3 hours. My son's baseball, and I use my Cricut. And then we went to my stepdaughter's graduation, and then we went to Disney for my daughter's 5th birthday. And that's not an actual hat. I cut that out of my Cricut, but not my head. So, and then my Hawaii, I mean, I'm doing a lot of Hawaii stuff. So for my big family trip to Hawaii, I am going to be making a Hawaii album. It's actually, the album itself is almost done. And then it's just a matter of putting my pictures in, journaling, and all the other stuff. But I wanted to put it in my Smash, and I had ordered some paper, and the wrong kind came. This Tropicana came instead of my Tropical Travelogue, because I needed a couple more sheets. And so I got to keep the paper, and so it's so beautiful that I used it for this because I just thought it was gorgeous. And I just cut stuff out of my Cricut, and I did a lot of journaling. And I even, you know, this one says, a holiday is having nothing to do all day. Wait. A holiday is having nothing to do and all day to do it, which I thought was awesome. That's kind of how we felt about this trip. So we're luau, and I mean, just, and so, I mean, just, and I used some washi tape here. These are little elements that I had in my stash from another Smash book that I had gotten. It had these little strips in them, and I just put them right over. This one says Dole, a little pineapple I cut with my Cricut, and magical. So took a picture with Stitch. And mine comes with these little pockets, which was really cool. So I did journaling on the back of one, and the other I actually included some memorabilia. So the wristbands, we had to wear wristbands every day when we went to the pool at Aulani, and we all had ID cards that we used not only to get into our room, but we used for other things, and we could charge to our room and so on. And the Daily Iwa was a newsletter that came out every day that told us the events that were going on there at the hotel. And so I included that. It wasn't a ton of messy, you know, stuff. I really tried to just choose the memorabilia that I wanted to put in this little pocket. Was really, really cool for it. And I really liked the element of washi tape. I don't put washi tape on everything, but on a few things that I think that it really warrants it. And I think it really does have that Smash feel without it being so messy. And I can see how Smash would be great for like cutting things out of magazines and inspiration stuff. That's where you get messy. But for me personally, I like my scrapbooking to be neat and tidy and pretty and not messy, because that's just not me. You wouldn't know it by looking at my scrap area right now. You would think that I was a total disaster. But I gotta tell you, my scrapbooks are very neat, and that's the way that I like them. So thank you very much for watching today, and I hope that this inspires you to explore some other avenues of scrapbooking.